Hi friends, happy Monday. I hope that you guys had a great weekend, and I hope that you guys enjoyed the videos that I put out this weekend. It was fun. We had like a little video studio in our kitchen, and even though I wasn't like face to face with you guys, I thought that it was a nice little way to mix up Veda. There are only 4 videos left. Woo woo! This will be one, and then after this I will have 3 more. And today I wanted to do a Facebook Live, and then I changed my mind. So I figured I would just check in with just you guys, my YouTube peeps, and today I wanted to talk a little bit more about goal setting, and specifically monthly goal setting. So how I wrap up my month and how I plan for the month ahead. So again, I will make a plug for the Get to Workbook. I love this thing. I did a full review about it that I will post up in the cards, up in that little eye, if you click on that and you want to watch that if you haven't already. But one of the things that makes the Get to Workbook really nice is that it has this page at the end of every month where you reflect and goal set. And so it kind of comes with some different categories to kind of review, and I use this to an extent, but I don't use it exactly. So to back up a little bit, every year at the end of the year I do a review of the year that I just had and a planning for the upcoming year, which I think is really common for most people, you know, New Year's resolutions and just looking back on the year that you just had. And when I do that, it's really nice to have all of my monthly review notes in one place. So I really sit down probably for about a full day at the beginning of the year, but then about an hour each month just to kind of review, think back to what happened, and it makes it really nice to have all of your monthly notes in one place so that when you get to the end of the year, you can look back and say, oh, this worked well this month and this worked well that month, because most of the time I don't really remember what happened in January or February or March. Like, that was so long ago by the time you get to the end of the year. There are a few categories that I review every year, and I'm going to list them out for you. Friendships, family, finances, career, love, health, spirituality, sex, philanthropy, personal development, self-expression, and then I take a full list of all of those and I do an overall score of what I think like the month generally was, and take an average of all of them added up and then divided by 11, because there are 11 categories. I find this is really helpful for me to check in once a month of how I'm really doing in each of these categories. They might be something totally different from you, or you might have a few that you use, but not all of them. These are just the categories that I'm reviewing and I want to check in with, because when one of them is down, other ones are usually down too, and they play off of each other. So every month I check in on those. Also at the end of the year I check in on those, but again, it really helps to see what I've been doing for that whole year. I also note in this little book the highs that I had that month, the lows that I had that month, and the lessons that I learned that month. And I always try to pull like one main theme of a lesson, and that's kind of a nice little pep talk to me at the end of the year too. Usually they're things like, you know, big projects happen one day at a time, or stuff like that. This one for June says, what you think about, you bring about. So they're just kind of little lessons or pep talks of things that I was focusing on that month. So that's how I review: highs, lows, lessons, and then all of those categories that I mentioned, plus kind of looking at what I've done, what big projects are still in progress, and what I still need to wrap up from that month before I start the new one. And then to plan for the new month, which I do at the same time, I really love the Get to Workbook. Has these little handy dandy tear out pages that have a cool little graphic, and then it says on the bottom, can you see that? And then it says this month is all about. So this is really helpful to come up with like 5 key themes. And I've done this before I got the Get to Workbook. I still put them in separate pages too. But I come up with about 3 to 5 different goals of things that I want to do that month. Sometimes it's just like, remember to check in with your yoga practice. And other times it's specific things like, we're launching this product. So it really helps me to kind of get an idea about what the month is going to hold for me. I find that if I do any more than 5, it feels overwhelming. So I try to keep it 5 or less, unless there's a bunch of stuff going on. But it really helps for me to feel like there are wins, even if I'm not actually like breaking them up into smaller pieces and it's just kind of like an overall thing. By the end of the month, I usually have all of them completed. And it doesn't have to be like goals that you want to complete. Sometimes I just write down like, celebrate my birthday in June, or go on a vacation. It's always just whatever is going on that month that really allows me to see the month at a glance with everything that my brain is going to be focusing on. So that's a very quick high-level overview about how I wrap up my month, how I plan for the month ahead, and how I am kind of keeping track of my goals and what I'm accomplishing. And it really helps me to do it on a monthly basis so that at the end of the year I can review and have all of my notes in one place, like I mentioned. So I would encourage you, even if you don't have a Get to Work book, you could do this in a notebook or even just on like a loose leaf piece of paper. Just at the end of every month, if you kind of track what your highs, lows, lessons, and then a few main categories are in your life, I think you'll really start to be able to see trends better and be able to see what you're accomplishing and what is maybe not so important, so you keep pushing it off. So that's it for today. Let me know in the comments, how do you keep track of your goals? Do you check in on a monthly basis or a quarterly basis or a yearly basis? We only have a few days of Veda left, so make sure that you hit subscribe before it's over because I will be posting videos after this, not every day, but definitely will want to keep in touch with you. So thanks so much for watching. Don't ever let your mind stop you from having a good time. See you tomorrow. Bye! Living the best days.